everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Juliet Abaligbe. What's up? What's good? In today's video, guys, I love this project. In today's video, I am going to show you all how I made a bucket hat, a reversible bucket hat from scratch. Okay, so guys, I used Ankara fabric for the main fabric and I used denim for the lining. Now guys, when I was going to make this DIY, I thought, okay, I did not want to make the pattern from scratch, so I downloaded a PDF pattern, an already made PDF pattern. And guys, it came out way too small. It did not fit my head. Like, I have to give this to my neighbor's child right now, guys. So because of that, I had to make my own pattern from the scratch, and I'll advise you to make your own pattern from the scratch. And at the end of this video, I am going to show you all how I made my pattern from the scratch. Okay, I just feel like I was scammed. I really don't know why I feel like that, but I downloaded the PDF pattern and I followed the exact measurements and all of that, and it came out way too small, and this would fit a child and not an adult. So because of that, I'll advise you to make your own pattern from scratch. And if you're new here, hello, what's up, what's good? My name is Juliet, and on this channel I make DIY craft, sewing videos, lifestyle, and any other thing I decide to make a video of. So please do not forget to hit that subscribe button, and if at any moment you like this tutorial, do not forget to smash the like button, share this video to a friend, because I know it's going to be useful to a person or two. Alright guys, let's get into this video, shall we? I am going to be using two different colors, one for the outside of the hat and one for the inside. One is Ankara and one is denim. So I am going to place my pattern on my fabric unfold like so, and I am going to cut it out. So I am cutting out two side pieces, two brims, that is the curved part, and one crown, one circle. And do not forget, we are cutting the same thing on my denim fabric. And I have also added interfacing to all of my pieces because the Ankara fabric is light, so I'm going to be using interfacing. This is a soft interfacing actually, and I made the interfacing ½ inch smaller than the actual fabric. So now I am going to place my side pieces and my brim right side facing each other, and I am going to sew the sides together. I am done sewing my side pieces and my brim on the side, the shorter sides. Now I am going to open my side pieces, only my side piece actually, and I am going to use my hand to press the seam open, and I am going to top stitch from the front of my side piece. You can also decide to top stitch your brim if you like. So this is the top stitch all done and ready to go, and now I am going to take my side piece and my circle piece, which is the crown, and I am going to sew them together. But first I am going to notch the middle point of the circle and also the middle point of my side seam in order to have a more accurate sewing, or know what to do when I get to the sewing machine. Okay guys, we are back from the sewing machine and I have sewn the side piece to the crown, and now I am going to trim out the excess and notch the curve, that's the circle, so it turns out smoothly. And after I do that, I am going to press the seams and I am going to top stitch. And don't be like me, I actually tried to notch before cutting out the excess, but I was supposed to cut out the excess before notching. Okay guys, so I am done top stitching. As you can see, my interfacing is coming out. I am not bothered. So I am done top stitching the sides, and this is what it's looking like right now. Do not forget guys, I am going to do the same to the denim too. We are basically making two different bucket arts and we are sandwiching them together. So everything I do with the Ankara fabric, I am doing to the denim. The only difference is that I am not adding interfacing to this denim. Alright guys, so let's get back to the Ankara fabric. So now I am going to bring my brim. It's called a brim, yeah, I think. So I am going to bring my brim and I am going to attach it to the side piece. I am going to attach the smaller side of the brim, the smaller curve that we have, not the larger curve, the smaller curve. I am going to attach it to the sides. But first off, I am also going to notch. I am going to notch the middle piece on the brim and also on the side. And I am going to attach them together, right side facing each other. I am sewing by 1/2 inch seam allowance. Remember, I made my interfacing 1/2 inch smaller than the actual fabric. So I am just going to pin the brim to the sides all around, and I am going to sew. As you can see, my interfacing is coming out. That is why we have to iron our interfacing very well in order to avoid the peeling, but we are fine, we are good. We're going to do this. Alright guys, so we are back from the sewing machine. I have attached my side piece to the brim, and as you can see, it is already looking like a bucket art. Okay guys, so at this point you can decide to top stitch all around the brim where we just sewn, but I did not do that. I should have top stitched the denim because at the end it was looking funny. so I advise you to top stitch at that point your add fabric. So now I am going to sandwich them together. I am going to place the denim on the wrong side, and I am going to place my Ankara bucket art on the right side. I am going to put it in the denim bucket art like so. I am going to attach them seam to seam and make sure that they're accurate. I am going to open the seams, attach them and make sure that they're accurate, and I am going to sew, leaving 4 inch. I advise you to leave 4 or 3 inch opening, and with that opening I am going to turn my bucket art to the right side. Alright guys, I am done stitching them together, and I was not able to leave a 4 inch opening because of the way I attached them together. So now I am going to make notches and trim off the excess and turn my bucket art to the right side. Again, don't be like me that make notches and after then trim off the excess. Trim off the excess before making notches. Get it? Get it. So now I am turning my bucket art to the right side, and you want to make sure that you get your ends inside the bucket art, and you want to make sure that everything that's supposed to be out is out, because once we top stitch we are not going to be able to get into the wrong side of the bucket art again. Okay, so after turning it to the right side, I am going to put the Ankara bucket art inside the denim bucket art, and at the brim of the bucket art I am going to finger press the seams and make sure that everything that's supposed to overlap is overlapping right. So after finger pressing, I am going to bring my ironing board and I am going to iron the brim. I am going to iron the seams down and make sure that you can't see the Ankara bucket art or the Ankara side of my bucket art from the denim side of my bucket art, and also I cannot see the denim side of my bucket art from the Ankara side of my bucket art. Alright guys, so this is what we look like after ironing. As you can see, it is flat and it is better this way. So I am going to top stitch all around. I am going to top stitch the opening shorts all around, and after top stitching I am going to keep on top stitching. You can use 1/4 of an inch space, you can whatever spacing you like, but I made my top stitching close to each other. I decided to make the top stitch plenty. I really don't know why. Alright guys, so this is what we're looking like after the top stitching. What do you think guys? What do you think? It's looking nice, right? As you can see, my top stitch is plenty, but you can decide to make yours like 4 or 5 or 6 or 3, whichever number you prefer. Alright guys, so now let's head over to make the pattern. For the crown piece, I am going to take an A4 paper. I am going to fold once, and I am also going to fold again. Then I am going to take my tape rule and my pen. So from the middle part, I am going to mark 4 inches up. You can make yours smaller if you have a smaller head, and you can make yours bigger if you have a bigger head, but 4 inches is okay for me. You can also measure the circumference of your head, and you can find out the radius and mark the radius like so. And remember, after this we are not marking any seam allowance. My seam allowance is already there. So this is the crown of my bucket hat, and I am needing 1 piece. I am going to use 1 piece for this. Now for the sides of my bucket hat, I am going to measure a rectangle of 4.5 by 12 inches. So it is 4.5 inches tall and 12 inches long. If you want your bucket hat to be shorter, you can decide to make it 3 inch. Whichever one you prefer, if you want it taller or shorter. And if you cut a bigger or small circle, then cut the rectangle so that it measures half of the circumference of your circle, right? If you cut out a smaller circle because you have a smaller head, then cut your rectangle so that it measures half of the circumference of your circle. Okay, and if you have a bigger head, make sure you adjust your rectangles too. So I am going to cut it out, and for this piece we need 2 sides, right? 2 sides. And for the brim of my bucket hat, I have a rectangle of 16.1 by 11 inch. I don't know why. So I am going to fold lengthwise like so. I am going to cut the brim piece on fold because I feel it's going to be too much work if I cut it on one piece. So guys, from the top, just like we did to the A4 paper, I measured 8 inch all around like so, and I am going to connect those dots. from that curve I am going to take 9 inches along the curve. I am going to measure 9 inch. I'm going to pin my tape rule down and I'm going to measure 9 inch. Alright guys, so that is my 9 inch. Now I am going to measure 3.5 inch from the curve like so. If you want a wider brim, you can cut, or you can measure 4.5 inch instead if you want it wide. So I am going to measure 3.5 like so. And remember, this side of my paper is on fold, okay? So now I am going to connect the dots, and you can use your curved ruler if you have a curved ruler. I just remember I have a curved ruler, that was why I brought it out now. So you can use your curved ruler if you do not want to eyeball the dots together. Now from this curve that we just marked, I am going to measure 6 inch, just like the way I did with the lower curve, the first curve I made. And I am measuring 6 inch because remember that my side piece is 12 inch, so I am measuring 6 inch on fold, so when I open it's going to be 12 inch. So I connected my 6 inch to my 9 inch. And if you cut a bigger or smaller circle, you can match the inner curve to the brim of the brim, rather to the length of your adjusted rectangle, okay? I hope you guys understand all those English. So now I am going to cut it out, and remember that we need 2 pieces for this, okay? So 2 pieces for each fabric, your canvas or denim and my Ankara fabric. Okay guys, so these are the patterns we need: the brim, the side piece and the crown of the bucket hat, okay? So 1 piece for the crown, 2 pieces for the brim and 2 pieces from the sides on each fabric. Alright guys, we've come to the end of today's DIY. I hope you learned a thing or two. If there is any way you feel you can make the pattern easier and better, do not forget to leave a comment. If you have any questions, any suggestions, I am going to try my best to answer. And when you try this DIY, do not forget to use the hashtag DIY with Juliet on Instagram, and I am going to repost. I would really love to see what you make. Do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like, and as you can see, I made a matching top, and I am going to leave the link to that video in the description box below, where I made this beautiful corset, because I'm sure you like it and you want to see how I made it. Alright guys, on to the next video. Bye.